All right, right. Shalom, shalom. As always, we want to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us, the men that rule well in truth and in doctrine, and shalom to the elect. All right, we out here once again to prophesy the end of this kingdom, which is Babylon the Great America. You have a lot of things going on in prophecy, so Lord's will we're going to touch on some of those things. And you can hold Isaiah 31. Start off with that. We got a lot of things going on in the White House. We got a lot of things going on with the shift of power. You know, the winds of change are blowing. And we got Donald Trump up there, Nero Trump, with Elon Musk right behind him. And you could already see the setup is good to go. All right. The setup is good to go for the MOTB system to be put in place. Got the precept.
Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Yeah, woe unto them that go down to Egypt. And modern day Egypt is America. So what you have now is the majority, the masses, they are trusting in this system. Their trust is fully in this system. And that's why this whole society and the world at large is a godless world. So people are not taught to trust in the Holy One of Israel. You know, especially our people dealing with you so-called Black, Latino, Native American, the Lord's people, the Israelites. We're not taught to trust in the Lord. We're taught to trust in the government. So what comes with that? All right, you're going to rely on them for everything. Okay, and if they cut off whatever, once you fully relying on somebody, they basically got you by the balls, you know, and you are not able to move without them saying, if they say jump, you got to say how high. And what's happening is they're coming in the guise of help. They're coming in the guise of make America great again. But as I was watching Elder Yashawamba's video going into this, that this is the time, you know, and he made a lot of great points. It's a very edifying video. Lord's will I could finish watching it. But basically, what they're doing right now is the ancient Roman Empire. You're seeing it really come into the full strength of what it was when it was an empire, you know, and that's what's happening now. So going back to the precept, though, Egypt, this is America is modern day Rome. America is modern day Egypt. America is modern day Babylon. All of those wicked empires rolled into one. So with the advent of this new administration, by them saying, yeah, they're going to make America great again, there is a globalist agenda behind everything that they're saying right now. There is a heavy agenda behind what they're saying, and it's in the guise of putting America first. All right. But we know that Babylon the Great, if a brother want to get Babylon have been a golden cup. Oh, yo, the bar, if you want, I got this KJV too. But that's the GNT. But they're the golden cup. So America has been that cup, and America has never had good intentions for the rest of the world, man. Now all of a sudden, America wants to be, you know, a light to the nations, you know, because on the left hand, they try to paint themselves as everything that the Bible talks about that we would be. You see, because the Lord said that let your light so shine before men. But on the left hand, they try to say that they are the light. They are the righteous cause. They are the ones you should be following. You see? So what you have right now is that globalization, and America is leading the charge. But you also have China, because you have what's happening now is the AI arms race pretty much. And you had DeepSeek AI, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is a Chinese company that dropped within maybe like the last week or so. And American markets took a major hit based off of that. So right now you have kind of America and China at the forefront of it, but really Babylon the Great is the one pushing it the most because they have the military arms to back it up. And if you don't get down with what America wants, the sword is when Esau is in trouble, we know what he's going to do. He's going to rely on the sword. You got that Jeremiah?
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So that shows you that the Most High controls it. The Most High uses all the nations for his own purpose. And one thing we know about the Lord from reading the Holy Bible and the Lord giving us the understanding of it, that the Lord loves to raise kingdoms up to, these ridiculous heights. He don't just raise up a kingdom and he brings them up to a real high level too. Just like he did with the ancient Chaldeans, But what does he do in the end? He raises you up just so he can bring you down in a dramatic fashion. And that's exactly what he's doing right now with America, Babylon the Great. So it's been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, meaning what? All the nations, they're following that Americanization. They're following that. So if America's pushing AI, then all of the other nations like, well, damn, we got to keep up. So we got to get down with that. China, if you look at China, their technology, a lot of it is ahead of America. Because they are, I think it says it in Second Esdras. Yeah, woe unto the Asia. You made yourself like unto the whore. So essentially, they're going to try to follow and emulate what America's doing. They're going to try to mimic, and if anything, if they can, they're going to try to do it better. You see? So when it comes to cars, a lot of electric car technology, they're also making a lot of advancements in that. And then China finds out how to do it, and then they find out how to do it cheaper. So then it's like, okay, then America has to step it up. So it's between, Esau and Moab, but really Esau leading the charge because he is the true ruler right now. So with all those things considered, the AI, the electric car technology going at a high level, we have the perfect setup right now for them to bring in that MOTB, all right? That implantable device, all right, which from our apostles on down, we've been pushing that this is the ultimate goal of the elites, all right? This is what they want to do. So the fact that Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that Babylon is going to be the first one, the major player to really push that. And then the rest of the nations are following suit. But when you look at the nations are perfectly ready for that. And in fact, China, a lot of people already got it. They already got the MOTB, man. A lot of people over there. You've had certain countries like Sweden, if I'm not mistaken, it's Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Sweden, they already have a lot of their population already got it. So we talk about these things and people act like it's so far out, but it's already happening. It just hasn't become on a massive scale yet. But this is what we've been prophesying about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is what our apostles have been teaching us about and have been pushing.
Yeah, quick point. The reason why people act like it's nothing is because it hasn't touched them. That it hasn't affected their lives. When you mention Sweden, they think, oh, that's on the other side of the world. What does it have to do with me? But you have to understand, if you listen to men like Klaus Schwab, Yuval Noah Harari, they are planning something that is global, right? They are planning something that's going to affect the whole world, not just one part of the world where you're not at, right? What does Klaus Schwab say? He says that China is the model that they want to pretty much copy after. So if they want to copy after what China does, and if you know about China, and I think it's the social credit system or something like that, you know what I'm thinking? Mm-hmm. Is it? Okay, got the water. That's the model that they want to copy after. So they want to copy what China does. And pretty much the way it is over there in China, if you speak out against the government at all, your social credit score goes down. You can't speak out against them. To give you an example of that to some degree is that one show, Black Mirror. That one little thick Edomite chick, Slocky, but that's how I remember. She was in like Jurassic Park and all.
Mhm.
Anytime you like, if people didn't like you or something like that, or if you like that one scene where she was in, I think she was trying to take a plane, and she got into like it got a little hectic, out of control, and she was arguing with the employee, and her like I guess like her credit or whatever went down, so she wasn't able to take a plane to leave. So pretty much to explain, what's going on over there in China, if you speak out against the government again, like I said, your social credit score is going to go down. You won't be able to get things. You won't be able to go anywhere. People are going to look at you different because what? It's going to be made public of who you are and what you're about. People are going to disassociate themselves with you, separate from you. So they want to pretty much what Klaus Schwab wants to do is pretty much bring that over here to America. So like the brother was saying that, hey, people look at it as like, oh, what does it have to do with me? Not knowing that this is a global thing that they want to make and have it affect the whole planet. So that stuff that's going on over there to you, it may be nothing, but hey, it's going to affect you very soon.
And that ties in with the devil coming down with great wrath, knowing that he hath but a short time. The brother want to hold that. But yeah, so we see the perfect setup. Everything that's been spoken of, the Lord is having prophecy speak, man. That's the message, man. It's all about prophecy, man. 1 Corinthians 14:1. Apostle Paul said, what? Rather that ye prophesy. Because what? We're in prophetic times. So our main goal and purpose is to prophesy, to pro meaning before, phasis meaning to say. So our goal, our whole purpose right now, the reason why the Lord has us out here is to give forth the warning. To give forth the warning. So that way people can't say, oh man, nobody never told me about that. Oh, I never heard of that. That was a secret counsel. That's not fair, Lord. You didn't warn us. No, there was a warning out here every single week, man. Matter of fact, every day. Because brothers put up lessons every day. There ain't one day where I go on YouTube and I don't see it. All these lessons going up, warning you of what's about to happen. All right, everybody's been told about the Israelites, man. You've heard about this in one way, shape, or form or another. Now, if you didn't look into it, shit, it's on you. But it's going out, okay? And this is what the Lord has set us up to do, to warn you. So when we go into all these things, the AI, the history, what's the geopolitics, Elon Musk, Trump. Why is Elon Musk in the White House doing pressers, man? He's not an elected official. And he had all black on. He had a very dark vibration, with a baseball cap on. A devil's devil. But he's up there and he's basically talking like he's calling shots. Why? Because the elites are the ones, we know it's the Most High, but through the left hand, the elites, they select the rulers they want. And they put on the show, politics and this and that, for you to think, oh, well, American people, and really a lot of Americans did support and vote for Trump and like him. But ultimately, it don't matter if they liked him. If the elites didn't want him there, he wouldn't be there at the end of the day. So the reason why he's there, and you think that if the elites wanted, they wouldn't allow Elon Musk to be up in the White House like that. He's there because they are there because they are selected. Like we always hear the saying, presidents are not elected, they're selected. You see? Going into that two-party system, which Lord's will, we could touch on that in Revelation 13. But these people are there for a purpose, man. Okay? And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, we've been set up to tell you that purpose. All right? They're going to implement a system where you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have that thing up in you, man. That device up in you. Brothers, got any precepts?
That introduction of that, see it, man. Even though that they at least set up proxy wars and they all sitting at the table together, they all really want to go against this place called modern day Babylon. And it's like a game of chess where You sacrifice pawns to get the ultimate goal to take that kingdom. All right, and this kingdom is coming to be taken, man. Well, it was set up to be taken. So they sit at the table together, but ultimately it's going to be brought down. Real quick, precept in Obadiah, it says,
Speak up a little bit, Baba Shah.
okay, Khan. In Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's none understanding in him. Right. So those people that sit at the table and eat with them, they're setting up a wound for them. Because this is going to be the place of great judgment. Right. Right now the battle is being predestined. I mean, not predestined, but pre-organized right now in the Middle East, but it's ultimately going to fall back on Babylon, man. So all these places is building up their capabilities, and they ready, they're gonna play ball with, the main place of judgment, which is Babylon. All right, but right now they secretly covertly working against them, man. All right. They got treaties and all of these things that's going on amongst the United States, but ultimately that's going to fall short. Just like they was waiting on today, which is Saturday, to find out if one of those treaties is going to be broken. A ceasefire between Iran and releasing them hostages.
Hamas. Yeah.
Hamas releasing them hostages. They released the hostages just to prolong the issue because the chip still got to be introduced. I mean, see them. It's blocked. That's all, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a great point. Yeah, well, that's what the scripture says, that he keepeth not at home. Esau always got his nose up everybody else's business, But the reason why he's doing that is because he wants global domination. And he's on the cusp of, he's right there. They basically have it. And what they're doing now, they have global domination, but what they're doing is they're clamping down. Those tentacles, that's right. You have a lot of those images of America as an empire, as a hegemon. And this goes back to like the 1800s, like different artists would write images. I remember in history class, they would show you like America with its tentacles wrapped around the earth. And right now, what you have is those tentacles tightening up, or the scripture talks about Leviathan in reference to Esau. If a brother want to get that, he's like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say,
I think it's Isaiah 27:1. But basically, Esau as that, this system, this empire has its tentacles wrapped, and right now they tightening that grip. The squeeze is getting tight. One thing that came to mind in Exodus, it mentions that at one point, before we were delivered from, our forefathers were delivered from Egypt, it says that Pharaoh made our burdens harsher, And right now, this is what you see. This is why there's a squeeze on everybody. And everybody's like, a lot of people expected Nero, Trump to get up in there and for things to just get dramatically better, Oh, yeah, well, Trump is going to get in there. The economy is going to boom. It hasn't been no boom. It's been actually the opposite. The market's been very unstable. It's been dropping. Prices have been going crazy. Inflation, all the things that was supposedly, the golden age, like you people have been duped.
tariffs. Tariffs and things like that that he said he wanted to put. There was when they talked about, I remember that being a little bit earlier when he got into office. They were saying that those tariffs that you want to put on could cause Americans to feel squeezed, in their day-to-day lives with the things that they buy. So here it is, I remember, I think Eldai Tazwan did a lesson where, before Trump got into office, I think he was like at the stock exchange or something, like, I forgot what it is they was at, but like, they were essentially looking at Trump like, yo, the stock exchange, business is going to be booming. But here it is, him putting those tariffs is now making, things difficult. Putting this, like you were mentioning, the squeeze on people. Right. Then also you have certain things, like the, how do I say this? The avian thing, whatever I'm trying to be.
Angry Bird.
Yeah, there we go. The Angry Bird. That's a funny one.
But
Yeah, pretty much that. Like the other day, my mother was like, you gotta be careful with them eggs. I'm like, since when are you concerned about? But like, ever since Donald Trump got into office, people are paying attention. People is not like just taking it as no little thing, especially the tribes. People is looking at him like, yo, this man is gonna cause, like, some people think, obviously, he's gonna make things better, but mostly our people is like, yo, this man's gonna cause some craziness. And you're like, so yeah, he's gonna cause things to stir up. That's what we're hoping for.
Yep. And he's getting ready to put a foot in you tribes' ass sideways, man. And y'all have been trusting in this system for quite a long time, man. As we started the camp, going to them that go down to Egypt. So again, tying it back in with the theme right now, y'all trust in this place so much, and even you go ahead. Got our house.
No, finish your point, bro. I got a precept to back you up.
Oh, yeah. So the tribes, they trust in this place because let's say y'all are just mad because your devil's not in there. You wanted Kamala. So that's why the tribes are, oh, Trump, oh my God. But Kamala would have done the same shit, if not worse. But she's too much of an airhead. The elites needed somebody that's actually like got a brain, So they put this guy, they put their devil in there. But either way, y'all still trusted in this thing because y'all all went out and voted. And just because your person didn't win, that's why y'all mad. Y'all not mad because, you want to see America fall. You're mad because, the goodies and the those that have received benefits, right? Second Esdras, the 9th chapter. You're not getting those benefits no more. Now they completely gutting the American government, man. Financially and in terms of like everything, they're just gutting it out and carving it out. And a lot of those social safety nets, well, for example, I think a brother brought up HUD, which is housing and urban development. And housing and urban development being gutted, that's where you get your Section 8, right? So if you got that Section 8 cut off, or if they really slash the funding, man, a lot of people are going to suffer, man. A lot of people. Because you got people, the government pays their rent, basically. That's what HUD is. That's what Section 8 is. And who's the primarily ones that's dealing with that is Jake. I know people that actually make a lot of money doing Section 8 rentals because it's guaranteed income. It ain't like a regular rental with somebody where they're shaky. They might, if the person loses their job, oh man, you might be shit out of luck. But with Section 8, the government is paying it. So the person loses their job, you don't care. That's why people think that our people are lazy, because they're like, damn, you just off the government titty the whole time. And Jake has been relying on that. I think in Revelation, it mentions that the woman was fed from the mouth. I'm paraphrasing. I forget how it goes. If a brother want to grab it, or if y'all brothers know it. But you had a point out, Haran. You can go ahead.
Yeah, Khan, I just wanted to back you up with actually what we started off with in Isaiah 31. All right. And as you're going in, you kind of made some very valid points in the sense that our people do trust in the system, but at the same time, there's a reason why the Lord sent the prophets out here to open your eyes to the deception that's around you, right? Because all this stuff, the whole Trump setup and everything, even the whole race between him and Kamala, it was all a setup to build up that support for Trump, because most Americans have seen what happened over the past 4 years, right? Which was deliberately done with the start of CV, which was during the time of Trump, right? He started the whole warp speed situation. He's the one who came up with the whole, I'm going to create a Vanessa in the shortest time ever, all that bullshit. And then Biden and them came in with Kamala, right? They came in and completely, basically deteriorated the whole entire system, all right? Morally, especially morally, with the whole TG people and pedophilia, all this extra shit, man. It was at an all-time high, right? People start to feel it more in their pockets. So now they're frustrated. They're looking for a way out. And they set it up perfectly to make you believe that Trump is going to be your way out, So go ahead and support him. You had both Democrats and Republicans going for this guy, man, to the point where you have different global world leaders, supporting him. Like he's like a great king who's going to change the course of nature and shit like that. Like, no. See, so the prophets being sent onto this earth, In these last days, we've been telling you from day one that Trump is going to turn on you. Trump is going to turn on you. Trump is not what you think, you know? And now you're going to start seeing it. It's already happening. He's been in what? He's been president. It's not even a month yet. And people are starting to like, yo, what's going on? Egg prices went up 20%. Eve went to the store the other day. She said, yo, it went from 5 something to about, was it 6 or 7 something? You know what I'm saying? So it went up out of nowhere. They're starting to shut down a lot of these poultry farms and live poultry and stuff. They're shutting them down because of the Angry Bird, you know what, the scare food. You know what I mean? So all these things are happening, and yet you still have our people who have turned a blind eye to this shit. They pretended like they don't see what's going on. Let's get a quick precept. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. So you got the prophets out here giving you counsel, but they're not going to listen. Lately, what you've been seeing a lot of is a trend of Jake, who know about the Israelite movement, who know about the Lord calling them, but what are they doing? They're mocking. All right, they're doing skits, you know, all these little videos of, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, of course I do this, you know, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, no, I'm gonna do this, da-da-da, you know, all this extra shit. They're not taking the warning seriously, you know? So continue, it says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. You see that a lot in these churches, you know? They pretend and act like they're godly, but yet they permit all kinds of debauchery, man. You know, now you could go to a so-called church, right, and have a so-called GAY marriage going on in there. Like what? You know what I mean? Like adultery running at the all-time high. You got women going to churches, right, and asking pastors how they could, you know, continue with their adulterous, you know, relationships and shit while they're married. You see? And you got the pastors who are also playing a huge role in these women committing adultery, man. All right, a lot of these pastors are slamming cheeks left and right with these married women that be coming to their congregation. You see? Verse 2, it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's the word you use, trust. Right? They trust in this system so much that the same system is going to fail them. And we're reading it right now. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay, so that same trust that you have in the system, once the system goes down, you're gonna go down with it. All right. In other words, once that MOTB is given and is officially mandated, all these people gonna end up taking it because they believe that's gonna be a way out. If I don't do this, I'm not gonna live. If I don't do this, I'm not gonna survive. Why? Because you didn't take the counsel of the Lord. You didn't hear you didn't take heed to the warning that the prophets were giving you as the way out. You see, you didn't see it how it's supposed to be seen. You just thought of it as, oh, he's just says words, man. Reality's setting in. You guys are talking about, oh, don't take the chip. Oh, so if I don't take the chip, how am I going to feed my family? I mean, nigga, we're not going to take the chip. So how are we going to eat? Right? So there's a certain level of faith there, right? If we're not going to take it and we still going to be fed, how come you can't have the same mindset? You see, it says, right. So it says, and the trust in it says, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. So again, going back to that point, like you mentioned about the concept of trust. Once again, you know, trusting in this bum ass system that's already broken and destroyed as it is. You know, and who's at the forefront of all this? Like you mentioned, Trump, and he's coming in the spirit of pride. Okay, and what do we know about pride? Pride goes before a fall. Okay, before someone falls, they always sound like they're the highest of the high, man. You know, even when you look at it in even entertainment, right? You got all these boxers or, you know, MMA fighters and shit. Yo, some guy could be undefeated for a minute. It gets to his head. He doesn't stay humble. He keeps on thinking he's the shit. Next thing you know, he gets into a fight with some measly old dude and he gets rocked out, man. And then next thing you know, he's never the same. Nobody looks at him the same anymore. Like, damn, what happened? This guy used to be great. He used to be powerful. And then boom, out of nowhere, just one time, his whole entire like power is gone just like that. That's what's going to happen to America Babylon the Great. The Lord's going to rock you with that right hand, which is Yahushua, and it's going to be a one-time kill, one-time shot. You know, not a KO, but it's a deadly wound, man. You getting hit to death. Like, oh shit, the impact, he's out of there. And the rest of the other nations are going to see that knockout, and that's what's going to put that fear in their ass, man. All right? But you got it, bro.
Hey, I'll say real quick, man. To add on to that point, you know, the Lord hit him with a deadly wound before, but he preserved them because they needed to come back, make the comeback in order to fulfill more prophecy, and as I believe brothers read in Revelation 13, going into the appearance of a lamb, I think you're starting to really see that a lot more now because, they're pushing this narrative that the government is now going back to what it was originally meant to be, right? Which is the people make the decisions and then the government serves the people and that kind of thing. And so that's the picture they're pushing out there. And that's why they're going into the IRS office. They're moving quick, right? They're doing all these things, that they anticipate to be problems that people want solutions for. Now, that is the part of the lamb, right? Trump is talking about trying to do away with the IRS and have an ERS, right? So instead of an internal, I think it's a revenue service, they would have an external one. But at the end of the day, guess what? This guy's gonna flip, and that's where you're gonna hear the speaking as a dragon. There's a part two. The part of the lamb is for you to build trust, for let your guard down, to think, you know what, this guy's not so bad. I know I have my doubts about him in his first term, but that was the whole look. In a nutshell, they could have had Trump go for 2 terms, and they could have done this 4 years prior. But based on the reaction of the people, they said, no, this is our guy, but this is not the time. So what did they do? They didn't make Trump better. They just brought somebody worse, and in the face of somebody worse, now Trump looks good, right? People hate Kamala Harris and hate Biden more than they hated Trump back in 2016. And that's all they needed. They just said, look, give them a break, put in somebody worse, and then bring Trump back up in there. And now all of a sudden, the same guy who on TV talking about you got to grab him by the, you know what I'm saying? And people, all these things against them. All of a sudden, now everybody's like, yeah, bring him in there. We need him in there, right? So now that he's in there, at this point, he has the confidence. Like, you guys put me in here. You knew who I was. It's like a snake biting you and saying, well, you knew I was a snake and you took me in, right? What did you expect to happen? That is this guy's energy. So hearing, for example, what he said with the hostages or Hamas, he said, look, if they don't got them by Saturday, I just say let it all hell break loose. That's his mindset. So what you need a guy like this to spearhead times like Jacob's trouble. You need a guy like this who tells you, well, this is the new system. If you don't like it, then, well, that's on you. He's the guy to push that MOTB. He's the guy to push those draconian laws and measures in the name of making America great again, right? In the name of a nationalistic energy and mindset. And at the same time, making the beast hate the whore. Because if you look at the energy he's pushing there, he's like, look, at the end of the day, man, what benefit does NATO have for us? We're doing most of the work, So y'all need to pick up what you're doing or kick rocks somewhere. That's the mindset he's coming with. But for you people here in this land, that as we read in Isaiah 30, I think it's 31 or 30, it said they went down to Egypt and they have not asked at my mouth. And that's what happened during the time of Joshua. When they didn't ask for counsel at the Lord's mouth, the Lord started bringing judgments upon them. Now, with this whole Angry Bird stuff, like you were saying, Aharon, man, I gotta check the receipts again, but I got the receipts right here. I did shopping, and bought eggs. It was 2 crates, 2 crates. I think the total was like 34 counts. And this shit was, where we at? Yeah, $17, for 36 counts, $17. And I was telling a friend of mine that they said, oh, you lucky. I got 1 crate for $18. $18 for a crate of eggs, man. So this is where it's at. And they said also in New York that if you see a dead bird, don't touch it, don't do nothing. Call, as there's some number that they provided. They said call that number because of this whole Angry Bird thing that is going. And it's just like a repeat of 2019, except things are different now, right? 2019 was like the discovery phase. Oh, do we implement 6 feet? Do we implement this? Now, the second that comes up, they're already talking about track and trace. They have these measures in place. But I just want to get this precept real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. And it reads, the beginning, actually, let me actually start at 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And this was Ezra seeing this vision. And he's saying this because he must have seen a time where he's like, there doesn't seem to be any wiggle room. You know, there doesn't seem to be anything you can of your own wisdom use to say, I'm gonna use wisdom here and cut here and be able to be good. No. And guess what? When you deal with a system like artificial intelligence, which is like what they're pushing, you don't have wiggle room. It thinks faster than you. It has more information to process that it can use faster than you. You can't cheat the AI system like you would IRS or some other system and just fly under the radar, right? IRS, okay, there are certain things you don't file on your taxes. It's not that big. They're not going to come for you. AI is going to come for your ass. And with everything being digitalized, they don't need to come to you directly. They can just come to your digital avatar or your digital account. And that's going to affect you directly, right? It says here, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. So and what that means is a lot of people are not going to survive the transition from this system or the old system into the new, i.e. the new world order. A lot of people are going to get caught in the middle because one, being deliberate, and two, not being willing to make the jump. It says here, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And the unfortunate thing for a lot of these people is they're not actually thinking or considering what they should do when those evils come upon the earth, you know, because they're not anticipating any evils coming upon the earth. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So though we're warning them now, they're not actually perceiving that this is going to be for their destruction coming up. So this guy got what? Some really 4 years, right? 4 years as we all think. But let's see what happens even in just this year alone. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Hey, beautiful. So yeah, this guy is really like a lot of brothers been saying. He basically turned 3 weeks. So it feels like a year. Like warp speed for real. Like he's going. Imagine what we're gonna be talking about. He hasn't even got through a month yet. Imagine what we're gonna be talking about 2 months in, 3 months in. All the things that's gonna commence because it's still winter. Once the weather gets warmer, things start moving and shaking a lot more. The summertime, man, the first summer of Nero is gonna be fucking crazy, man. Guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a point because there was going back to the whole AI thing because something DeBar said. He said the word introduction, and the spirit just gave me a thought. Going back dealing with the MOTB is that AI could be the introduction to the MOTB with the way that they're pushing everything, right? Because they're making AI to be like an integral part of your life, where this is going to be, it's going to encompass everything, right? If you listen to men, again, like we mentioned earlier, you got Klaus Schwab, Yuval Noah Harari. If you listen to them, they talk about how pretty much, mostly I listen more to a little bit of Yuval Noah Harari because he's one of the more, I'm pretty sure there's other guys that talk about AI and things like that, but Yuval Noah Harari is the one that I've seen mostly talk about things, right? He's like more out there than others. And one thing that he always talks about is that whoever controls the data will control pretty much everything. And what is the data going to be based upon? Pretty much everything dealing with you, right? How you move, how you pretty much, how you move in life, right? And pretty much if they pretty much have AI surveillance, AI pretty much, like I was mentioning, encompassing everything of your life, right? Even all these 15-minute cities, right? All this stuff is going to pretty much deal with AI, pretty much watching completely over you. How is Big Brother going to watch you, right? Because they have that all-seeing eye, right? So how is Big Brother going to watch you? It's through technology. AI is going to be how they pretty much completely watch you, right? Watch every aspect of your life. So with AI, right? Sucky. With AI, it's pretty much how they're going to gather up all the data on you, pretty much know everything about you.
Right. Yeah. So He wants to be, we know that one of the traits of Esau, he wants to be like the Most High. He has that characteristic of seeking out some, this immense level of power to be omnipresent. And the Most High he's given Esau some things that no other nation has really had, man, through that technology. In terms of giving him technological godhead. Like the Lord, man, the Most High is so far out, bro. He's given this man on a carnal level the certain power to like touch, to get closer to what the Most High is at. Now we know he's never going to really get close, but in his mind, it's all about what he's doing to his mind and building him up with that pride and cameras everywhere. You can't go anywhere in New York City without being viewed on a camera. Everywhere they are looking at you, they are watching. I was just talking to the brother DeBar in the car on the way here, and all of a sudden I see my words start popping up on my phone. I guess I triggered some word on the phone, and you know how they have the Google Assistant or whatever. All of a sudden it starts picking up everything I'm saying, and I'm like, I just clicked it out. I'm like, damn, but they listening anyways, bro. So we need. This is our moment of basically like being Pharaoh behind us and the Red Sea in front of us. We coming into that moment. And this is where we really got to step out on faith. This is why we rebuke and get on camps like IURC, because they're not letting you know the severity of the situation. They're stuck on doing pop the balloon shows, man. That's something new they just started doing. They've been doing pop the balloon shows. Now they're doing the Israelite twist, like the woman will be running it, and then the dude will pop the balloon and he'll throw a Snapple fact or something. But it's all worldly, man. It's all worldly. Y'all playing these games and doing all this bullshit, man. But you're not warning about the most heaviest things that's happening. Keeping the commandments. They always banging on the commandments, but you breaking the commandment of putting a stumbling block. That's putting a stumbling block before your brother, man, before your neighbor, because you're not teaching the whole truth. The main thing, again, Apostle Paul, rather that you prophesy, going back to that, the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So all of the things that the brothers have been speaking on, these are things that are actually happening now. We're supposed to use as ammunition to warn you and to bring it all back to these are the prophecies, and this is the fulfillment of it happening right before your very eyes. So be prepared, so that day doesn't come upon you unawares. Yahweh Shai is coming as a thief in the night. You see? It could be this year, man. And y'all over there doing pop the balloon and doing all this little, all that little cute fun shit that's going to be over with soon, man. It's about to go down, for real. So the severity of it, this is what we're here to do. This is a serious thing, man. Yeah, you keep going.
No, go ahead, because you.
I was just saying, with all the things coming to pass right now, it's becoming more evident that the Lord is speaking through the men, for the fact that everything that we say years ago is happening now, to the point where we speaking about what the brother Ashiya was saying with the surveillance and everything. We were speaking about that years ago, before the 20, like maybe 2010. And what's happening now is that it's just amplified more than what it was when it first was being introduced, which was being introduced during the Patriot Act in 01, when 9/11 did. That gave them the right to go in and bring out the surveillance on us the way that they do. And it's technology, the application to the surveillance is even more advanced. Like the brother was saying, while we was in the car, his words was coming up. But now with the cameras and all of that, the facial recognition causes a street light to recognize your name, your date of birth, and all of that. So even if you just sitting in your car, you already identified. All right. So a couple of weeks ago, we was bringing out the real ID and how important that is. But the fact of the matter is that it's like another form, like the brother was saying, the introduction, because it's going to be something encoded in that card, because the new cards of our driver's license and all of that got this holographic technology involved in it. The money got technology in it.
Yep.
The watermark.
Yep.
All right. It's holographic. And when we sitting here talking about what's going on inside the phone, you could be talking right now and ads will come up on your phone according to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like the medicines that I be seeing every few scrolls once I go up on a feed, it's something that I was thinking about getting or something that I spoke about getting. And now they got a commercial out on it. All right, so this algorithm is geared towards knowing your every impulse and what you want and what you desire. All right, and that's Satan's technique, man, to get what you desire in order for you to want what they got, which is MOTV. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say exactly what to add on to what the brother Tabar was saying. You know, whatever IUIC is doing over there with their popular balloon skits or whatever, that doesn't matter because they're not preparing the people, right? If you listen to Elder Yashwamba in his intro, like he says, I'm gonna try to say it the best I can, but linking the things happening worldwide to everything in the scriptures, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to look at the things that are happening worldwide and link it to the scriptures, right? We can see Matthew 24 chapters being fulfilled, right? We can see that nations is, rising against other nations, right? We can see things with, AI and things like that, right? We're supposed to link that to the scriptures, right? Because these things that are happening right now is going to affect the people. These things, doing that little pop the balloons, getting all that type of stuff. Yeah, when you do that shit to them or whatever, it may be fun or whatever. But when the times, hard times come, right? Like the things I was talking about, like how AI, right? They're collecting data on you. What are they collecting data for on you to do? It's to control you, like we were going through earlier, right? That people are reliant upon the system and they know these things. So if we collect more data on you, if we collect more information on you, we will know how to better control you, how to better put you in a box, a category, so that way we can like, oh, okay, this person is that type of person. Put them over there so that way we can deal with them. Oh, these people are that type of people? Okay, put them over there in that type of box so that way we know how to deal with them. It's about control. The 15-minute cities, AI, it's not for your convenience. They may come out and say things like, oh, well, this will be better, right? Like, okay, Yuval Noah Harari said that, pretty much an AI robot won't make the same mistakes as a doctor would or something like that, right? Along those lines, right? Because, what do you call it? A human error or something like that along those lines, human mistakes. So with AI, the AI is not going to make a mistake. The AI is going to be pinpoint accurate, like Bakwar was saying a little earlier. The AI is going to, pretty much know how to hit the mark right on the head. So pretty much with AI, that's what it's all about. They'll say things that it'll be convenient for you. A 15-minute city, you'll have everything in your convenience. You don't have to go anywhere far, right? Imagine you have to go to the doctor, but the doctor's like an hour away in an area that you don't know and things like that. You're gonna be like, damn, I'm in an area I don't know. It's very far. Gotta go that far. But imagine it's 15 minutes away from you, or even shorter. That feels a lot more convenient. That makes you feel safe. I don't have to go very far. I don't have to go a long travel distance. Everything that I need is right here for me. That sounds what? Very convenient. I have grocery store here. I have a doctor that's right here, 5 minutes away. Everything that I could possibly need, I don't have anywhere to go. And Americans here, I'm gonna just say it, I'm fucking fat. You don't like to walk, you don't like to go nowhere. So all that sounds hella good. I don't have to go fucking a block? Hell fucking yeah. So of course that again sounds what? Convenient. But what? Think of it. Like cattle, putting you in a barn, pretty much keeping you controlled. That's what it's about. But it's put to you out there as what? Convenience. It's for you, for the people, right? For the people, by the people. But no, it's about controlling you at the end of the day. And it's important that we talk about these things. Popping the balloon or doing those fucking skits is not going to prepare the people for the times ahead.
And they got to come with gimmicks. Salakia, just a quick point, add on what Shalom said. They got to come with those gimmicks. And those gimmicks is what is getting them all they don't care like the quality. See, with the spirit that the Lord put upon us, we want quality. There's been brothers that's come amongst us and they just didn't make the cut. They fell out, whatever. They weren't serious about it. And we didn't say, yo, come on back. Nah, the Lord separated them, that's it. But with IUIC or those type of organizations, they bring in all types of fish and they don't care about the quality. They just bring in anybody. They got women in the congregation, women hanging out with men. This is not the times that we in. And that shit is out of order anyways, man. You got it, Haran.
Hey, Kanye, I refer to them IUIC dudes and these other camps as the rose up to play Israelites. That's them. You know, in the time of serious matters, they rose up to play with all this popping balloon bullshit. You know, but going back to a point that Shalom made, you know, they actually have apps right now that are tailored towards, you know, health, right? In a sense that if people they're making it harder for people to actually go get that one-on-one doctor interaction. Because nowadays, a lot of the so-called doctors and nurses and all these practitioners, they're all incompetent. You go there with a symptom or something that something's wrong with you, whatever, and they'll misdiagnose it. You know, they'll tell you some shit. They'll put you on some crazy ass pills, whatever the case may be. So the trust in even doctors now is waning, and that's a perfect opportunity for ESO to come in and give that save the day pitch of look what AI can do. See, look at the convenience. Look at how accurate it is, right? Now you don't even have to leave your house. Like you said, you don't even have to leave your home. You just talk to the app and it tells you exactly, you just punch in how am I feeling? I'm feeling this from a scale from 1 to 10. How's the pain? Da da da. And then it'll just give you a synopsis of how you're feeling, and then it will tell you, okay, order this, and then we're gonna ship it to you, and then we'll send the prescription and the information to your doctor or your practitioner, so you don't even have to go there yourself. You know, so that's taking away that whole one-on-one personal interaction and leaning, pushing everything in terms of your health and your trust in health in some robot or some shit. You know, no longer do you need a actual physician. Now you skip the doctor, skip the physician. We're just gonna go straight to a phone or a tablet or a computer and type in a whole bunch of information in my real life, and it's going to give me feedback on what's going on with me. You know, and the prime example of that priming people for that is most of the time when people feel some type of way, they just type it into Google. You know, like, oh, what does this mean? Or I'm feeling my head is aching. What does this mean? And then Google just tell you a whole bunch of bullshit. Well, you know, your head is aching a little bit. Your ears are ringing. Oh, that's a symptom of cancer, HIV, and AIDS. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Damn. You know? So they have shit like that going on right now, you know, where people bugging out, but it's all part of the conditioning and getting you prepared for that one time where it's something called One Health. All right. And I believe there's a company called IDEMIA. I believe we did a lesson, a live stream on that with Itazwam some time ago, years ago, you know, about how they're going to be bringing in that concept of health and AI technology and all these different things, man. You know, so it's all playing a role and it's all happening fast. That $500 billion that Trump is investing into AI technology and infrastructure is all going to cover all these things. Basically, like Shalaman said, and Ashia also mentioned about the final locking in of their plans, so to speak. You know, the tentacles and the slaughter getting ready to be done. You know, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, I got the brother. We're gonna bring out go back to Isaiah 31 because I want to go back to that real quick because just go a little deeper into it. Because like we were mentioning, you know, again, like Aharon was mentioning about the convenience, right? Why do people you know, trust in Egypt? Why? Because it's convenient. They seem to what? They help you. Because what? It seemed like everything that this man has, it's like, yo, it's so powerful. He has the answer for everything, right? So bring out that out in Isaiah 31.
This is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
And that's speaking mostly to our people. You other nations don't matter, but hey, you other nations are going to feel that woe because what? Everything that this man is going to bring is going to affect you as well. It's going to hurt you as well. But this is mostly speaking to our people.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong.
Right. See, it said what? Because they stay, which another word for stay is support. So because they see the power, right, of Egypt, the many horses, the many chariots, it's strong, it's powerful. They have all this aid. They have all this, let's just say, for lack of a better word, government aid that they can help you with. They have they have an answer for every single thing, right? Which especially with AI is going to be able to answer your every need. Look at with Google, right? Again, we're going into pretty much how with AI they're putting it out there to where it's like you're pretty much becoming dependent on it. Look at ChatGPT. A lot of people use ChatGPT. You just put in Google. Before Google used to just give you search stuff. Now it's what? AI overview. And now it's becoming that. Now AI again is well, we'll give you an overview of essentially what you're looking for before you start seeing the other stuff. So people are trusting in Egypt. Why? Because again, because it seems very strong. It seems many because it has many benefits to it. That's why people look to it.
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Right, because our people haven't been taught to seek the Lord. They think of the Lord as like a little thing, God and Jesus and all that type of stuff. Like, oh yeah, you just pray to him and things like that. They go more according to what the carnal, what they see. Hey, again, Egypt has many things. Egypt has this. Egypt has that. Which when we say Egypt, we're talking about America right now. America has this. America has all of these things, all of these benefits that they're going according to the eye that they can carnally see, especially with AI. All these conveniences, all these benefits. So why not trust in that? Because think of it, you got to think carnally, right? We at one point was a part of the world. We once saw the world and things like that. Like, why would I not join myself to these things? Why would I not do these things? I would be stupid to like disassociate myself, right? Oh shit. Or like separate myself from these things because I would be losing out. So that's how people see in the world. Why would I not want to, use AI or, get more integrated with it? Because what? I'm going to lose out. And especially with the way that the world is going in, if you don't, be a part of the, or mingle a part with AI, you're going to lose out on things. You're going to fall behind. And people don't want to do that, right? There's a terminology called FOMO, fear of missing out. And people don't want to do that, right? Especially just because I like to play video games. Especially like if you play a Call of Duty, sometimes they have like seasonal things, right, that come out for like a couple of days. And people will play that shit for like hours. Why? Because FOMO, the fear of missing out. They don't want to miss out on that exclusive skin, that exclusive gun that may be super powerful, right? Because you come back, you watch YouTube videos like, oh, this sniper is crazy. Watch me get 30 kills without dying. It's like, I need to go play right now. Why? That FOMO, that fear of missing out. People don't want that. And that's the same thing with society. I can't miss out on this, right? Because people are very carnal. They look they look to Egypt, right? They stay because of many horses, many chariots, because it's strong. But they don't look to the Heavenly Father, right? Which is Yahweh through the Son Yahweh Shai, because our people have not been taught these things.
Okay, brothers mentioned in Egypt, and Babylon is also considered what? The beauty of the Chaldeans, man. This place is considered the beauty of the Chaldeans, man, the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, this is like how people look in New York City. Everybody wants to come to New York City for the glitz and glamour, how they say this is the city that never sleeps. All right, Isaiah 47 speaks about the beauty of the Chaldeans. It's something that's glitzy and glamorous. So that what catches your eye, all right? Just like how the Venus flytrap, one of them plants, there's a catchy something that it lures its victim to. It's like it has a caterpillar. No, it's a lizard that has like a caterpillar looking type tongue that I don't know if it's a lizard or a fish, but it's one predator that catches its prey by luring it in with the beautiful look of something that they could feast on. The prey looks at the wiggly tongue as if it's like a worm or something, and it catches the prey that way. And this is what Babylon is doing to y'all, man. It's lowering y'all in with the beauty of things, the glitz and glamour of things. Oh, how convenient this is. Oh, how beautiful that is. All right. Like the brother was saying with the video games. Oh, the new season event, the new weapon, or the new gear. All right. Those things is leading y'all into destruction, man. And Lord willing, this is the eve of destruction. So we can start seeing a whole series of things activating that's a booby trap. All right. Which I think is something that's convenient for y'all, going to turn around and bite y'all right on the ass. It's going to backfire. Let me get back into this.
Habakkuk 2:1. I will is in a GNT. I will climb my watchtower and wait to see what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will tell me to say and what answer he will give to my complaint.
Right, and that watchtower is a high position where you can see everything. And this is what the prophets are supposed to be doing. This is why we're bringing this information out to you, because we are going into these articles. We're listening to some of these people, right? Like Yuval Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab, and things like that. We're listening to them and hearing what they're saying. So what? We're on that high position, right? Again, that watchtower, and you're able to survey, see everything, right? 360. And that's what we're doing when we go into these articles. We listen to these videos that these men when they're in the being interviewed talk about. So we're seeing the plans of what they want to go into. At one point, you know, to you again, like we were going into with that 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. Yeah, at first they talk to you and they seem all nice, like they're here for your benefits. But later on, when you really go into again, what they really want to do is to, again, speaking as that dragon. Yeah, at first it sounds like it's for your convenience, it's for your help. But really, again, on the back end, it's how they draw you in to pretty much control you. They got to lure you in. It's not just a, hey, I'm just going to come out here and I want to entrap you. No, right? Elder Cezanne one goes into it many times with dealing with fishing, right? When you're, you know, sometimes he goes into it beautifully because he fishes a lot. But usually when you fish, it's not like you're going to go into the water and start stepping in there to catch the fish. Nah, you're going to get your bait. You're going to throw it out there, right? And calmly, right, when you feel you got a bite, then what? Reel it in, right? You're not going to just step in the water and try to bring me a big ass bag and I'm going to try to get everything. Nah, there's a different mindset when you go out there when you're fishing, right? You got to throw bait out there to get the people. And essentially, convenience is the bait.
And, if I may add, that reminds me of what we had spoke about seduction, being seduced, you know, and that's all a part of his deception, is him seducing you into doing these things. Because seduction is a part of a process. You're going to do something that's wicked, that's according to your flesh, but it has to appear like something that's going to be beneficial. This is good. This is what you want to do, you know? So that's the art of seduction, which Esau is using that. And, oh, another point I want to make, you mentioned the watchtower. That's why the scripture says the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So part of the name of the Lord being that strong tower is not only the protection of the tower, but the vision that you get. Because when you go to the top of the tower, like a watchtower, you can see far out. You can see. That's why Apostle Gabar and various apostle elders mention this, to be a visionary in the truth, to be a visionary. So we envision these things. Certain brothers have actually had dreams about these things, and we actually envision and we can see these things happening. You know, we can see them happening. And that's through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which again, through the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we have that strong tower, that position to see the things that's happening, to see far out, whereas other people, they can't even see in front of them.
Why? Because they're only looking at what Esau puts in front of, tunnel vision. They only see that. But again, going back to that watchtower to just explain that, what? You can't have tunnel vision being on a watchtower. Like, just imagine it right now. Like, I'm on a watchtower, right? And I'm looking here, and I'm just only looking in this direction. What about what's happening over here? What's happening behind you? What's happening over here to the east? You can't have just tunnel vision like that. You have to have a 360, a circumference, looking all around, being on that watch, and that's what that watchtower gives you.
Hey, I work at the airport, and tower control. That tower has windows, a 360 direction in the window, where they looking at every direction. So tower control is like another a watchtower that's important, because you know planes is coming from every direction, and they watching that. It's more than just radar.
Hey, that's why that DC plane crashed, because they didn't have the proper vision. So looking back on that, that was spiritual too. Yeah, America's gonna crash and burn. The brother Bakar mentioned a dead bird earlier. Yeah, America's gonna be that dead bird, that dead eagle. You know, that bald eagle is gonna perish. But I'll go back to the scripture. Habakkuk 2:2. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave me this answer. Write down clearly on tablets what I reveal to you, so that it can be read at a glance.
All right, so I'm not too used to GNT, but in the KJV it says, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right.
So when we do these lessons or like these live streams right now, we make it plain for you to understand, because when you talk, or sorry, not when you talk, but when you listen to Klaus Schwab, when you listen to Yuval Noah Harari and the things that they say, well, what does he mean by that? What is he getting into? That's why the Heavenly Father has given us the Spirit, right? To get to dissect what they mean, to get into these things. Because people say, well, how the hell do you know what they're planning? How do you know what they're? Well, we have the pretty much the guidebook, which is the scriptures. We know that the end game is pretty much what leading to what? The MOTB. Certain individuals, if you watch that interview between Alex Jones and Aaron Russo was a close friend with Nick Rockefeller, and Nick Rockefeller pretty much opened up to Aaron Russo and told him that, look, we want everybody to have a device in their arm. That's right from the horse's mouth, telling you exactly what they want to do. And we can see that, hey, with AI, like I was mentioning, I'm not saying, this is just me speaking as a man, that AI could be pretty much the introduction into the MOTB. Is how they start what? Again, the bait, the convenience, luring you into it. It's not just going to bring out the MOTB. Nah, they got to lure you into wanting to get it. This is why they start, when you go into Revelation 13, poeo, which is to form, to fashion, to construct. They got to start changing things around you to be what? Convenient. Again, the bait to lure you into the system that they want to pull you into. It's not just bring it out like that. They got to slowly do things.
Habakkuk 2 and 3.
I'm sorry. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Bakar, if I'm not mistaken, you named the title, he's going to pretty much fight you or something, or he's going to turn on you. Right, and that's essentially what Esau is going to do. Again, the convenience, the putting out there is like, hey, I'm your friend. I'm here for you. Right? What do you need? But what? He's going to turn on you.
Put it in writing, because it is not yet time for it to come true. But the time is coming quickly, and what I show you will come true. Reference to what you said. It may seem slow in coming, but wait for it. It will certainly take place, and it will not be delayed.
Right, so in the KJV, so again, I'm not used to GNT, but in the KJV, it would say what? Though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come, right? At the end, it shall speak. And we're seeing the prophecy speaking right now. So when you have men like IUIC doing this, or whatever other guys doing all this weird stuff and not going into prophetic things, it's like, yo, they're not preparing you for these times, right? Like, I believe Aharon called them play Israelites or whatever. Essentially, like, look, these men are not going to be able to give you answers when the time comes. When the MOTB comes out, what are they going to tell you? They were playing the entire fucking time. They didn't know what the fuck to tell you. They were just taking shit as a joke. So when serious matters happen, what answers can you get from them when they were fucking playing the entire time?
And Nate's going to pop up like he been saying it the whole time. I told you, morons. I told y'all this is what I've been saying. I told y'all that it was this. No, you haven't, bro. You've been lying the whole damn time. But that's a sign of a weak intellect. When you have to resort to name calling, when you have to resort to, that's called an ad hominem attack. You don't have a basis of your argument because you're wrong, so you're a moron. No, you're just wrong, bro. Repent. And our apostle elders are so gracious and merciful, and they have such a beautiful spirit that they even still give you a shot and say, yo, if you repent, because there's various dreams and things. And at one time, Nate was in the spirit, but the way you going now, you on the way to destruction, my man. You straight on the fast track to perdition. You see? And as we read, tarry, wait for it, it will surely come. Now we coming to the times where it's going to come. And as Shalimah said, they have to do things gradually and this certain way that they have to do it and approach it. And now we coming into the time, though, to where they got the pieces set up that it's going to go fast track now. Now it's going to be sped up. And even now, they still have to, the way that they do it, though, they still have to do it in a way where it's still subtle. And they just can't, they can't just do our MOTB today, right now. There's a process, Now, then again, something could happen, and then boom, it does happen that fast. But we know that there's a certain process, and it may take a few more weeks to months. We don't know exactly, but we know that it's coming, and it's all laid out. So, you want some more on this?
Let me get this real quick, just to, amplify more on the point. This is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 23, but I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds. And who's the flock? Israel. So you got to know the state of your people. Is the people of mine prepared for the times ahead? Do you know what's going to happen in the future? Are you acquainted with prophecy and things like that? You got to know the state of your flocks. Know what, pretty much know if their head is in the game. You can't just have your people just being in all into pop the balloon skits and all these type of things.
Yeah, and that's why their flock is going to be confused when the time comes. They're going to be, oh, you never told us about this. What's this? This, oh my goodness, what do we do? What do we do? And by then, hey, the Lord might just have the famine of the word, right? When y'all asking all them questions, the Lord just take the prophets away. Because a lot of you IUIC members, you know, pretty much most of them, they've been taught to hate us. You see? Those guys over there, oh, those are the extreme guys. You don't want to be with them because y'all are worldly Israelites, man. You know, y'all are worldly, man. Y'all still want to be a part of this world. You're community Israelites. You want to form an organization with a 501c3. Why would you have a 501c3? To be accepted by Esau. It may not be on the forefront because they'll be over there acting like they're banging on Esau, but the heart of your organization is that of somebody that's trying to fit in with this world at the end of the day. You're trying to make big money. Nate got his big mansion on Long Island. We know all about that, man. You ain't hiding from nobody, man. We know what you about. You're about that bag. You're about that clout. And you're all about you at the end of the day. You know, and you're selfish. And you're operating in an evil spirit, man. Because it's all about you and your congregation. They think that shit is cool because they like to worship men. But over here, the Lord put the spirit on us to where we're all about the truth, man. And that's what this is about. And the closer we get to the end, y'all that are in that camp, man, you better, hey, if there's any elect in there, which we do believe there very well may be, y'all better get right or get left, man, because there's going to come a time where it's going to be too late. And it's understanding, and you're not going to know. If brother want to get Revelation 3 and 10, if that time comes and you are shaky about what this is, and you don't understand the ramifications of taking the MOTB, this is the point that we've been getting at the whole time through the Spirit of the Lord, man. You may just do it. And in fact, most of y'all will do it, man. Because you're going to, in your mind, well, I got to eat, my family. You start thinking those worldly thoughts, and you start becoming doubtful. And what's going to happen? You're going to have a moment where you're going to say, ah, man, you know what? I know they said that that's the MOTB, but the Lord wouldn't want me to start. You're going to start to rationalize it. And before you know it, you're going to find yourself lining up. Your hand going to be right here, and he's going to be putting that palisade right there. You're going to have that moment. And before you ask them that, oh, I would never do that. I'll never know, never in a million years. It would never happen to me. I couldn't be the one. No. But watch when the time comes, man. And we pray and hope that the Lord preserve us from that. All right? But we've been warning y'all, and you not taking it serious. So when the time comes and you're presented with that, and your leaders have been saying, nah, man, you know, you think, oh, General Yohana, you know, we got something for you too. We ain't forget about your ass. You know, you've been over here. You told your congregation, you think God don't want you to eat. You know, God wants you to eat. God don't want you to starve. Guess what? You're going to take it in. You still going to starve. Because you don't got no faith, man. Got it?
Yo, I was going to say, that's why I brought that precept in Proverbs 27, know the state of your flocks. Now, the ancient thing in Israel is what? You would check your flocks to know if they were healthy. If I'm not mistaken, dealing with Jacob and Laban, he checked if those flocks were was spotted or something was wrong with them, if I'm not mistaken. So you would want to check and see if they're healthy. Now, how do you check if Israel's healthy or really spiritual healthy? You got to put out these videos to pretty much edify them so they could be built up and know the times that are coming ahead. You're not going to check them, hey, do you know this and that? You got to put the lessons out there. Oh, you want a Revelation 3 and 10.
Oh, you got it, DeBar? Yeah. Yeah, you can bring it up. Grab it already. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, the hour of temptation. There is coming a time very rapidly, and it very well could be this year, where you're going to be presented with the world or Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? And it's going to come in the form of this MOTV. Either you take it and you become a part of it because you don't want to miss out on the benefits of being a part of this wicked society. And on the other side of that is the nuclear missile with your name on it. Or you're going to choose the Lord, like Joshua said. You know? If a brother want to grab that, choose this day. I think it's Joshua 24. But this is the time. And it says it's going to come upon the whole world, man. Nobody's exempt. We're not exempt. Our faith is going to be tried as well. See? That's the... Go ahead, brother. You got it.
No, you can finish your thought. Then I get you.
Yeah, but nobody's exempt. We're also going to be tried. And this is why we exhort each other. You see? Because this is really about the elect at the end of the day. The rest of y'all, all of you other we mention you as a teachable moment because we really care about the Lord's flock, which is the elect. We know y'all ain't going to get it. You think Nate's going to watch this video and he's going to say, yeah, you know what? They're right. We'll repent. Yep, that was the one that got me. I heard all the mother videos. No, he's going to be the same prideful dude unless the Lord determined otherwise. But we're really concerned, like the brother Shalom been saying, about the Lord's flock, which is the sheep, the lambs of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So we're telling you and warning you of these other wolves that are out here, so you don't get taken. Hey, the Lord said that it will come as a snare. You know, it's going to come as a snare, and you're going to be snared up because you want to be a part of this world. Why do you think the Lord had the parable of the sower? The one that got caught among the thorns and the cares of this life choked it out? Because that's what y'all want to be a part of. And this is why we warn y'all against participating in worldly things. It might seem minor. Oh, it's just a pop the balloon. Oh, it's just this. Oh, we just had something for the women. And yeah, but this is the thing. Y'all don't understand. This thing is really for the men. And
Okay. To bring out a point where since you mentioned, I brushed did a lesson on it. The reason why the thorns choke out the word is because you're not cultivating pretty much yourself in this ministry. Because this is a constant cultivation, it's a constant care that you have to continue to do over and over. You can't leave this for a second and be like, oh, you know, yeah, I know I'm Israel. I know I'm supposed to do this and that, but you know, just take a break today. Just leave this like, nah. Even if you may take a break to some degree, you know, to regather yourself or whatever, you're still thinking about the ministry. You're still thinking about the Lord. You're still meditating on things. This is a constant, Salaki, I didn't mean to break your train of thought, but this is a constant cultivation. This is a constant taking care of. Because imagine if you actually have a land. If you leave it alone for a second, what's going to happen? Certain animals are going to see fruits and vegetation up in there. And what? Them animals is hungry. So they're going to run up in there and eat it. And you think they're going to eat it clean and nice? Nah, they're going to leave a fucking mess. If you leave it alone, what's eventually going to happen? Them thorns and everything's going to accumulate. So what? This is a constant care. You have to constantly watch over that land, constantly make sure that you keep cultivating, keep taking care of it. If you don't cultivate yourself in the ministry, eventually, like the brother's going into, which Yahushua mentioned, what? The thorns, the cares of this world, right? Which essentially is really your lack of care is what is going to eventually choke the word out. And it becomes what? Unfruitful. And then what? Pretty much like that land that once, when it was being cultivated, was bearing that fruit, the vegetation, you know, the fruits and vegetables. When you leave it alone, it becomes unfruitful. Now everything dies. So fuck it. You got it, Bikar.
Gone. Yeah, that's a very beautiful point, you know, that you just brought out, you know, and that add-on that Shalom just said, right? Because that's why the Apostle Paul mentioned examining yourself daily, right? Whether you be in the faith, you know, constantly pruning, right? And making sure that you're on point because, like you said, you know, it's a constant battle because it's not just a one-time thing, right? Like, I'm in the truth now. I know what it is. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you're doing, I do lessons. All right, I'm good. You know, there's different parts of the field. And you may be just focusing on one part. Oh, I'm good. and you turn around and everywhere else is messed up. You know, so it's a constant all around the world work. And what I mean by that is you may have certain brothers or certain individuals that are diligent in terms of like, yo, they're always doing lessons, you know, they're always on fire, they're bringing out all these deep mysteries, and yet they're not brotherly, you know, or they're like not charitable, you know, or they just don't have love towards their brothers. That's another part of the field that you didn't cultivate and you never paid attention over there. And so guess what? Now that part is gonna mess you up because you cleared up this whole part, and this part might just be a tiny portion, you know. So just like when you're in school, you have different classes, right? And they all cumulatively give you some GPA. Well, in this ministry, there's a reason why the Lord has books like Proverbs, Ecclesiasticus, Psalms, along with the prophetic books, along with the Gospels. All right, because you have faith, you have diligence, but there's also the part of your character, right, as a man of the Lord in the truth, and how you ought to move and operate, you know. And all of this is what you have to take in account in making you a well-rounded servant of the Lord. Okay, because you never know when the Lord might put you in a position where you need to care or take the oversight over others. How are you going to be a righteous judge if you can't even, you know, behave charitably or brotherly towards one or two people next to you, but you want to rule a kingdom? You know, what is gonna become of those that are under you? All these things, you know, like certain individuals don't consider these things, right? To them, it's just the me and me only one, like Shalaman said, tunnel vision. But you have to look at the end goal, right? Like, what position is the Lord looking to put you in? What are the job requirements that you need? What skills do you need in order to successfully do that? And how is it that the things you go through now prepare you for that? You know, anyway, I had a precept here going back to what you mentioned, Aishar, and this is in Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 9. And it reads, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. And we know going into, I think it's Psalms, but there's another precept that refers to Esau as the sword of the Lord. And that's what we're seeing now, right? They're sharpening up that sword and in the means they're going to use to come down upon the people. And when we talk about these things, you have to actually envision this as a real thing, just like you would any historical events. You had people making this huge outcry about the war in Gaza with, or the war in with Hamas and Israel and so on. There's about to be an even worse one over here, where you're not going to be crying for the children of people over there, but your own children. You know, you're not going to be crying for the loved ones of people over on the east, but actually for yours. Verse 10, it says, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? So should we be going around doing pop the balloon, right? And all manner of, what's that, Passover, celebration, holidays, you know, instead of keeping it solemn, right, and in remembrance of what it is. It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. And that's pretty much what's getting ready to happen. And soon it's not going to be words on a paper or on a page, but it's going to be troops with guns mowing people down. You know, people getting stabbed up, people bleeding, you know, seeing that right before you. That's pretty much what people are getting ready to live.
That's it, yeah. So these things are going to come live and direct, right to your doorstep. Your brother's got brother could get that Joshua. Oh yeah, I got it. Oh, you got it?
This is Joshua chapter 24, verse 14. Now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord Yahweh. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord Yahweh.
And IUIC, the problem with y'all is y'all have not put away the gods of Egypt still. You still calling on JC. So that's another big problem you have. Why do you think a little leaveneth the whole lump? There's so many holes poked in there's holes in your doctrine left and right. But the main thing where you messed up was stop teaching the name of Yahweh Shai. That's where you really messed up. And from that fatal flaw, all this other stuff came in. But again, the reason why I had asked the brother to bring that out was the point was, choose this day. Choose this day who you will serve. And if y'all still want to be on JC, because Yahweh Shai is foreign to this world. JC is something where people hear that, like, oh, okay. So you still into that? Oh, okay, we understand. Oh, you have fringes and you keep the commandments like that, but JC is still okay. That's at the heart of it. Okay, so it makes you acceptable to the world, man. That's the point. Whereas Yahweh Shai is, whoa, Yahweh Shai, that's a whole different ballgame. You know, what did our Lord say? I am from above, ye are from beneath. So our Lord, he doesn't originate from this world. Our Lord's origin is from before this world was even formed. JC is a part of this world. JC came way after, man. So y'all want to be into that, again, you're still attached to this world. And since y'all have not been able to give that up, and you think that that's okay, you know, it's like, imagine you with your husband, you know, you got a husband and he cleaned you up. He wants to take care of you. But every so often you let your ex's name slip out. Man, any man has some sense, he gonna kick your ass out to the curb real quick. But y'all openly, and Nate has mocked the name, man, many times. And he mocks us saying, Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai Brakatah. He mocks us saluting each other in the name of the Lord. But in Psalms, it says that I will declare the name in the midst of the congregation. So you're ashamed of it. That's what it really comes down to. Because again, Yahweh Shai is a foreign concept to this world, man. Our Lord is a foreign name. It's a foreign concept. He's a foreign entity to this world. He's like an alien to this world. So that's why this world can't get down with him. And because we come in that name, Yahweh Shai, that strikes a sense of confusion and fear in these people, because they fear what they don't understand. See, but those names actually have meaning to us, man. And this is why we stand up and speak in those names. You got it. But you got something to say?
Yeah, Cut, I got a quick precept to back you up with the recklessness that IUIC be moving with. There's a book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 13. It says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. And that word circumspect comes back to what I believe the brother DeBar made a point about being on the watchtower. You know, you're kind of like in almost like a rounded tower, so to speak. It's not normally a square, it's round. And there's a glass window all around you, so you can turn around and you can see everywhere, right? Circumspect is a compound word. The circum going to circle, and then spect going to spectacle, or to spectate means to watch, right? So you to watch all around you, you know, and that's the job of a watchman. You know, I believe Bakar, you also mentioned something about being able to cultivate many different aspects of your life as a watchman. That's you're watching everything. You're not just watching for yourself, but you're watching primarily for the safety of the nation. You know, so you really are more of a sacrifice, not so much more of you're putting yourself out there, you know, as in like, oh, okay, I'm here, you know, I'm good, I'm gonna make it. No. You're more like, I'm sacrificing myself for the nations, really starting with the elect. Okay. So continue, it says, and that's exactly what Yahweh Shai did, right? We're following the footsteps of Yahweh Shai. He sacrificed himself. So we also, as his followers, have to have that same mindset that if it comes down to it, yes, I will be willing to put my life on the line for the Lord's name's sake. And by doing that, I'm also putting my life down as a testimony, all right, for what I believe in as a man, right? So continuing, going back to Exodus 23 and verse 13, it says, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Okay, so JC is definitely another God, right? Because when you say Jesus Christ, all right, you don't get an image of a so-called black Messiah like they like to push. Jesus Christ it carries an image and a spirit with it, and that's not the spirit of Yahushua. Okay, so when you teaching, all right, IUIC, when they teaching and they keep saying, oh, we use the name JC, all right, because that's what people are gonna understand more. Nigga, what the fuck do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean by that? We're not here to cater to people's feelings and emotions. We're here to give a message, and the message is dire. It's a warning. Ezekiel 3:17. So if I'm giving you a warning, I'm telling you who the warning is coming from. I'm not here to tell you, oh, just so you can understand the warning. No, nigga, it's a message being delivered. That's it. For those who can receive it, they're going to receive it. Those who can't receive it, I'm not here to make you receive it. No, I'm just delivering the message and I'm out. That's it. I'm gonna drop the letter to you. I'm gonna let you know where it's coming from, and here you go. I came from a long ass journey. I'm tired as fuck. Don't tell me nothing. Here's your message. Take it, read it, and then do what you got to do with it. And that's it. But the point is here, it says, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. These niggas blessed in that name. Most High in Christ blessed. What does that even mean? Most High in Christ blessed? That's a joke, bro. We laugh when we hear shit like that. And then he gonna turn around and say, I scorn when I hear the name Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Who in your right mind says some shit like that, bro? That goes to show you what kind of spirit that man has, man. And the people that follow him blindly, like the apostles always say, these guys are zombies, and you can see it. Okay, they don't question nothing. They're not even looking at it on the spiritual level, man. Again, the rules up to play Israelites, man. Everything is a joke until the time comes. All right, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, that's a great point. So all the game plan and the bullshit is going to come to an end very soon, and that's why we've been prophesying and teaching about Jacob's trouble. That's another thing that they don't really get into. And the Christian church is not. There's a lot of similarities between those certain Israelite camps like IUIC and the Christian church, because they're not letting people know the severity of the times. Yeah, people will say, yeah, we're in the end times. And I hear a lot of Christians say this, that, oh, well, we've been talking about that for a long time. Oh, yeah, I've been hearing that since I was a child. Shouldn't that be more reason for you to fear and for you to be aware? If it's been spoken about for that long, doesn't it mean that we're that much closer to it? But they look at it as, well, it's been spoken of that long and nothing happened, so that means that it's never going to happen. If a brother want to pull up that Ezekiel 12.
Actually, so you have a point? Yeah, Salaki, because I remember there was a video that Aharon was doing. I forgot what video it was, and he brought out that same precept. And I thought about, pretty much what Habakkuk says, right? That the vision is set for a appointed time, right? And people always say, oh, well, that was said a long time ago. Well, let's use an earthly example, right? People have aspirations and things like that they want in the world, right? Don't you say, like, sometimes people believe in manifesting, right? Well, I'm gonna do this, right? So you're pretty much putting out there essentially that, hey, in the future, this is what I want. And I'm putting it out there. I'm manifesting, whatever it may be, a house, car, whatever have you. Now, the house and car is not going to happen immediately. It's not going to happen the minute you say that. You're just manifesting that, hey, in the future, eventually, I'm going to manifest for this to happen in the future. I'm going to work towards my goal. Essentially, apply that with the Heavenly Father. He has spoken, but it doesn't mean that, hey, if he wanted to, it could happen on the spot. But hey, I have spoken something, right? The scripture said that my word shall not come back unto me void. That, hey, he has spoken. So eventually, it's the same thing. It has a process. It's going to go through things. The same thing when you people want to manifest. It doesn't happen on the spot. You got to go through your ups and downs. You got to go through your tribulations. But at the end, you're working towards that goal to manifest what you want. So it's the same thing with the Heavenly Father. He spoke something at the beginning, right? And eventually, it's going to go through its process, things like that. But at the end, it shall speak. At the end, it's going to happen. So it's the same thing, just using a worldly example. So when you say that, oh, that was spoken of a long time ago, well, hey, you're manifesting. You spoke it 2 years ago. Shit ain't happened yet, right? All right, then.
And if it was up to them, it would never happen because you ain't out here doing the work. You have to do something sometimes. Sometimes you have to do something. You ain't just going to sit back and the Lord going to make it all happen. No, he wants us to come meet him. And Yahushua already got the victory. We know that. So this is a light burden. We're blessed enough to where the Lord only do some lessons for me, go out on the highways and hedges, It's a reasonable service, man. Reasonable service. That's the key word. Reasonable. It's not unreasonable.
To some, it is.
To some it is, right?
To the 2/3 that want to be with these other groups, I call them social media Israelites because they trending. They do things that is doable, but we do things that's unreasonable to the 2/3.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's an unseasonable weather. 2/3 ain't gonna be wanting to get down with this. And these other kids, they not out here like this. They probably home right now. They probably not even thinking about camping right now. This man, he looks like he traveled far and long just to get a dozen of eggs. He coming back with a dozen of eggs like if it's gold right now. But we out here during these times, man. These great times are like hardship. All right. We coming out here to tell y'all about these hardships. But the 2/3, they want to get with the group that's going to be like, yeah, nah, you don't really got to go out there, or you ain't really got to break down with why we say your house shot instead of JC. All right, y'all trending, y'all groups out there that's dealing with how y'all teach and how y'all deal with being an Israelite. Y'all social media Israelites, man, because that's what social media gather. They gather a lot of followers to like what's likable, what's reasonable. We not reasonable.
Yep.
All right. We push it to the limit. Right. You want
Right.
to see us in the hottest of the hot weather, in the coldest of the cold, and breaking it down where it don't sound desirable. You don't want to hear this truth. Right.
Hmm?
And that's why we stand out, and I'm happy to be in. The Lord put the spirit on me to be in a group that y'all consider the hit group or the least liked, right? How they used to call us the bumite. That's
Right. Yeah, so while the real men of the Lord is out here on the highways and hedges, y'all could go ahead and go to your mama's basement and fill up some more balloons and see what that does for you in Jacob's trouble. Because that ain't gonna do shit for you, man. All these little gimmicks and nonsense. Tying it back to the times that we in. Trump is rolling, man. There was a time when we were saying, yeah, Trump, they're getting ready to roll. Nah, now they just rolling. It ain't getting ready to roll. They rolling. It's happening. He's saying, listen, if you don't do this by Saturday at such and such a clock, all hell gonna break loose. That's why we love it, man. We love that he's in there because he's bringing. The Lord is using him, man. He's the instrument of the Lord right now to bring about their end. So when he starts popping that shit, brothers get excited, man. Yeah, talk that shit, man. Be who what is that saying that they have in Babylon? Be all you can be. Isn't that the Marines motto or the Army? It's the Marines, right? One of them, yeah. Be all you can be. So yeah, be the devil you were always made to be. America, be as wicked as you can be, and come out with it. Be who you are. That's the type of Edomite you want to deal with. At least the Edomite that he's up front with it. Like he hates you. He's laying it out. He hates the tribes. Look what he's doing to the Northern Kingdom. He's taking all the social safety nets out. Well, going back to what we mentioned earlier, HUD, Housing and Urban Development, and taking Section 8. What's going to come along with that? They're about to take the food stamps. They're going to take it all, man. They're taking away. Matter of fact, I think, oh yeah, I heard about this. I don't know if one of y'all brothers have posted it in the chat, but it was Governor Kathy Hochul of New York took somebody. There was a doctor, I think from, I forget the state, might have been Louisiana, but basically he was he left to New York, and the state that he was in, he was selling abortion pills. You see? And basically, like, this illegal in the state that he's in. So basically he left to New York because New York said, nah, we'll give you what's the word I'm looking for? Like immunity. We'll give you immunity from that. And if you come over here, we'll take care of you. So what's that creating? A huge gap of division. Because before the division was like this and it was growing. Now the division is like this far apart, man. You on this side of the Grand Canyon and they on the other side. And they ain't going to see eye to eye, man. The Democrats, they still going to keep pushing it. It's like people thought Trump came in and all these people were just going to give up all that wicked ass shit they were doing. They're still with it. And they going harder now. Now they're more emboldened because now it's like somebody's coming for what I got. For what I got. So I'm going to go even harder. So you have that. You have different states that are saying they're going to rebel. Different states that are saying, oh, in Long Island, they just tried to enact a bill. I think in New York at large, they're also trying to do that. But I know they were protesting in Long Island about this, that ICE is not able to cooperate, or police, local law enforcement will not be able to cooperate with ICE to share information. So they try to stop that from happening. So people are protesting and trying to get these laws passed. So we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg of what's about to happen, man. So it's just getting spicy. We just getting some spaghetti on that plate, like the brother like to say.
Something you said that sparked this thought in me is essentially, I believe the brothers from Dallas would say sometimes that you're going to see that old Edomite spirit come back. What did you see with the previous administration, right? With Biden, you saw a lot of freakiness, a lot of nastiness, right? People getting real down and dirty, right? Exposing, bringing themselves out more. But with this administration, with Trump, you're seeing what? A lot of getting on the tribes, right? Get them out of here. And that's something that our people had to deal with, right? Specifically Judah, not northern, the southern tribe, right? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they had to deal with a lot of Edomites being in the face, like, get the fuck out of this country. And you're seeing that pretty much with Trump back in office, you're seeing that spirit come up where it's like, yo, we got to get these people out of this country. So it's showing you the type of spirit, the type of where America is going, which is pretty much going into division. The people are dividing, right? That's dividing because, our people like to, stay, tied to these other nations. They want to save, they want to be their friend. But you're seeing what? That division. Yahweh Shai talked about that. I come not to send peace, but a sword, right? To send division. So that's what going to divide people up, right? Also, if I'm not mistaken, Mark the 3rd chapter talks about a house divided by a house divided. Let me get it. I'm a butcher it. Still on here.
Matthew 12 also. Also, Bar, you go home. Revelation 12.
This is Mark. Yeah, this is Mark chapter 3, verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, right? And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. So you're seeing that what? It's not just Edomites against Edomites, but also, everybody's separating, everybody's divided. This country is a divided country. Nobody's being, on top of each other, so to speak. And so now what? You're seeing that old Edomite spirit come back where they're like, yo, get these fucking tribes or you niggas out of here. And it's starting with the Northern Kingdom. But eventually that's going to trickle down to Judah as well. Because Judah thinks that, because they're, I think it's called FBA, Foundational Black Americans, that they were here that, you're going to be safe, you're going to be out. Nah, they don't like you niggas either. You remember, again, like I said, that's something that our ancestors had to deal with. They used to say, yo, you niggas need to get the fuck out of here. Even though it was Christopher Columbus and your fucking people that brought us over here, that we didn't want to be here, get the fuck out of this country. But we was brought here against our will. We didn't want to fucking be here with you fucking nasty ass Edomites. Part of my language, which is being honest.
Yep.
But that old spirit is coming back to us like, yo, not only do we want these Spanish niggas out of here, we don't want you niggas here either. Because we got our boy Trump back in office. Make America great again, which is pretty much make America Edomite again. We want this place to be great. Let the Edomite male come back on top. It's time to shine. Our boys in office. That's essentially how they feel.
Go ahead.
Right now, they showing that by, like you said, the Section 8, see all these things are being cut short. And then the precept I wanted to bring out was that, mainly ones who gonna feel it is Jake women. Because y'all all on all these subsidies, man. Y'all on the EBT, y'all on the Section 8, y'all on the child support, and it's gonna affect y'all the most, man. And y'all sitting back, y'all living off of him, like y'all saying how much y'all didn't want him in office, and now it's gonna be shown why y'all didn't want him in office because these things is coming to pass. But in the precept, it's Isaiah 32:9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech." In verse 10, it says, "Many days and years shall be troubled. Shall ye be troubled, ye careless women? For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come." So these things that's happening right now, the gathering is not going to come, man. And the vintage is failing y'all. So slowly but surely, y'all going to see things come to pass that we were saying before. We understand why y'all didn't want him to come into office, because y'all want this place to continue. Y'all want the vintage to continue, and y'all want the gathering to keep coming. But in order for your house y'all to come, that stuff got to be cut short. Y'all got to go through y'all trouble, man.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the gathering of the vintage, one of the two is essentially, dealing with the grains, right, coming in, that increase coming in. But like you had mentioned, pretty much, that benefits, so tying that to modern day, those benefits, that Section 8 and all those type of things. What's the other one called? Food stamp. Oh, well, yeah, maybe you could ask. Yeah, all those type of benefits are going to go away. So that's not, it's not going to come in. So what, you're going to have to deal with that. So now they're going to be in a predicament where it's like, well, what do I do? How do I take care of my kids now?
Yep. Got that Revelation 12?
Yeah. And you got to start from verse 1.
Or you could do just get to the point, 12 and 12.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down onto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
So that's the time that we're coming into. He's coming down with that great wrath, Then he's not going to stop. He's going to keep on going. He's going to push it to the limit. And you tribes are woefully unprepared. You're spiritually unprepared, and there's no possible way to carnally prepare anyways, even though they're going to try. They're going to try to doomsday prep and things like that.
A quick point. Well, to them, carnally preparing is trusting them, like we brought it earlier in Isaiah 31, because they trust on chariots in Egypt because of its many. So to them, carnally, preparing is, hey, they're bringing out these benefits, they're bringing out the help, because look, I'm suffering, I'm going through hell. Nobody likes to go through pain and suffering, especially. I did a lesson on that earlier this week, I think, or maybe last week. Imagine you have to watch your kids not eat for a couple of days. Americans are not used to not eating here. There's an abundance, even though, food prices going high, you have an abundance of food that you can just go to the grocery store and take. And Americans here, their diet is not good, right? They don't have a strict diet or a cut diet. So they just eat anything. So you have an abundance of food to get into. So now when there's a lack of that, not much of that, right? And now the government's coming with aid to help you out, they're going to think that, yo, this is the best thing ever. Like, yo, this is how I prepare. This is how I, pretty much not prepare. Maybe it's not the proper word, but this is how I essentially is salvation. This is how I get my health. That's why, again, they trust upon Egypt. But just to bring that out,
Referencing your point about the FBAs, foundational Black Americans, which is the tribe of Judah, you don't understand that you are a reminder of Esau's doom. Whether even if you're a 2/3, just the fact that you still exist and you were used to build up this kingdom. So when they look at you and you think, well, I'm FBA, I was here from the foundation of this thing, that's why I got a piece of it. And you think Trump is going to be with you, which Trump kind of referenced some things that he tried to cause some division with the tribes, mentioning FBA relative to the other tribes. The so-called Black American is and trying to exalt them, but you're the most hated actually, because you're the top tribe. So Really, you're gonna be at the forefront of that destruction of Jacob's trouble. And he's gonna bring out the sword upon you and upon all the tribes. But you think that because you were here and you know, in large part because of the slavery that happened here in America on actual American soil, that you're gonna get a special treatment. No, he looks at you as a reminder of his failure and his fuck up. So his hatred is gonna be even more pronounced against you. So y'all all all of the tribes, man, are about to suffer, man. You know, only the elect, and the elect is going to go through things, but the elect is going to be delivered. But the majority of you tribes, you trusting in Egypt, you trusting in the system, and we're going to keep saying it. It may sound like a broken record, but yeah, you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to line up, and whatever they tell you to do, you're going to do it, just like with the juice, you know. And that's why we got on those other camps that pushed the Jamba juice, man. They said, go ahead and get it. You know, they said it's all good. No, the dude said, I'm crying for you, Israel. I'm crying. Remember that guy? Some clown from IUIC, man. He rose up to play.
Didn't Prophet Isaiah take it to say, I took it so that way Israel don't have nothing to worry about?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he do that?
Yeah. A bunch of faithless men that have no business being in a position of leadership at all. But that's where they are. And actually the Lord set them up as leaders so that they could lead you off that cliff. Because the Lord said, if a brother want to get Isaiah 6 and 9, that yeah, he hardened your heart, man. He don't want you to get it. You know, that's a scary thing about the Most High, man. He has those that he's accepted and that he loves, and he has those that he's rejected. See, and we pray and hope that we're of the former, you know, of those that will be delivered when this thing goes down. And this is why we come out here and do this, because we fear the Lord. The Lord put his fear in us, so we know that we got to stay on point and sharpen this thing, so that when the time comes, we're already exercising these things. We're exercised in this knowledge of wisdom and understanding. You got
This is
I think it's 6 and 9. Or...
yeah, I'll start with this. This is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, here I am, send me. And he said, go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed.
Yeah, you're spiritually Helen Keller. You're deaf, dumb, and blind. You don't know what's going on. You have not a clue. And though we speak, yeah, your ears work, your eyes may function physically, but spiritually you have no sight. Spiritually, you have no hearing. You might as well be walking around like this with earmuffs on, like what I got on right now, to keep warm. You might as well be walking around like that. Deaf, dumb, and blind. And the Lord said, and the Lord is the one that said, that's the main point. The Lord said to make them like that. So that when you go to them, and that's why you can see the prophets were so frustrated at times, like, Lord, you sent me on like an impossible mission. Like, I'm going to go talk to these prideful ass niggas and they're not going to get it. But you got to do it anyways to mark them. And now the beautiful thing about it is the Lord really gave us the understanding to where, oh yeah, 2/3 of the people here in America of our people are rejects of the nation of Israel. So we already know y'all not going to get it. So yeah, we're gonna let you know, give you the benefit of the doubt. If you come in and if one of our people come in and repent, hey, we'll rejoice. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But we know in reality that's gonna be few and far between. You know, even my seed had asked me. He said, Dad, everywhere you go and try to tell people, like, this one don't get it, this family member don't get it. He said, is there anybody that gets it? I said, yeah, a very small number, a very small number. And he's like, oh, that's the teachers and teachers and teachers and teachers that you're always showing me. Because he knows about all because I be showing him, look at all these videos that the brothers do. This is how much the Lord be pouring out his spirit. He'd be like, can't even wrap his mind around it. You got it, all right?
That's heavy. That's heavy. Hey, Brock there, Bashim Yahushai. Right? It says, I think Yahushai said that what unto babes that he has, he was thanking the Lord that he has revealed this truth not unto wise men but unto babes. Right? So that's an example right there that even a young child could actually understand what the Spirit is showing. But you have all these old ass people who have no idea what the hell is going on. It goes to show you that it's all spiritual, right? There's a book of Ezekiel. Going back to the point y'all brothers made, just giving you supporting that Jake is not going to listen regardless, right? And the Lord already set it up that way. Part of the movie is I'll send my men out there to give you the warning, and there's a group of you who's not going to listen, so I can be justified when I bring that judgment, right? There's the book of Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 4 says, and he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech, and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech, and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Okay, so that's what synonymous with Jeremiah 4:20. All right, 4:20, 22 on there. All right, going into how our people are so rebellious to the Lord. They're foolish. They're sottish children. Right. When it comes to righteousness and knowledge of the Lord, they have not known that. But wickedness, yeah, you're going to see them at the top. You know, it says, verse 8, this is what the Lord is telling Ezekiel in terms also telling us in these last days, right? Because we're doing the same thing as Ezekiel was doing back then. Okay. It says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. Right. And I believe a similar thing he told Ezra as well. Right. That fear none of the things that they're going to have the incredulity against thee. Right. All these different things. When you go out there, you're going to face most of it. Jake is going to be more in opposition to the Lord's word and his prophets than to embrace it. Right. So it says, as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Right. And guess what? The Jays ain't doing that. You don't see no issues with the Jays openly being rebellious like that. Okay. So how can they even be under this curse right here? The only people on this earth that are openly rebellious is Jake. That's why they make majority of the prisons is filled with Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were rebellious, they ass wouldn't be there. Right. So it says, continue, says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears, and go and get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them and tell them. Right? That's the commandment we got. Thus saith the Lord power, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Okay? So the mission is clear cut. Go out there and deliver my message to them. Whether they hear it or not, just go out there and deliver the message. Don't be like these other camps that are trying to cater to the listener. No, that's not the goal. That's not the point. That's not the mission. The goal and the mission is to deliver the message, and that's it. Like Yahushua said, he always said, he that hath an ear, let him hear. In other words, those that the Lord has put the spirit of understanding on them will receive it. Just go out there and deliver the message, and that's it. How hard is that? Like, you don't got to go figure out who's who. Yo, I'm knocking on your door, man. I'm hoping you get it, man. You know, damn, I got to go to this house and that house and that house. And no, just do the work and the Lord will do the rest. That's it. All right. But you got it, bro.
And that's beautiful, man. I love that precept because it shows that the Lord made our foreheads hard against theirs. That's why the scripture said that those that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So as much as our people, they're very stubborn and rebellious, then the Lord, that's why the Lord told him, you go into a stubborn and rebellious house, so I'm going to make your forehead hard against theirs. So as much as they're stubborn for their idols and traditions and Christmas and this and that and Thanksgiving and being a nigga, we're stubborn for righteousness' sake, you know? And you know them Eve, they got a big ass forehead too, a lot of them, man. They got a big ass head anyway, so you know the Lord made them hard-headed as hell. That's one of the curses, man. That's why you lost your hair. And the Lord is making fun and mocking you and making fun of you because you got that big ass Mount Everest forehead, bitch. You know? But hey, the Lord made us firm against you. And that's why a lot of times people get offended. The Lord, Yahweh Shai mentioned offenses, man. You know? You get offended because and then wonder like, oh my God, you guys are so harsh. But y'all are so stupid and wicked that we have to be like this. There's no other way around it. We got to be firm and we got to be stern about this. And that's the spirit of the Lord that he has upon us. So that you could get the message. Otherwise, y'all gonna be dilly-dally and you're gonna play games anyways. But we are here for the sincere elect, and the elect, they got to know the severity of the situation. And we all coming out of those worldly ways. So we got to have that stern nature, just like that's how a true father would be.
Hey, when you look at an emergency situation, right? Because right now, like you said, we're here to give a stern warning because of the dire consequences that are coming, right? Who in their right mind is going to be like, yo, there's a fire in the building, but I want you to come and tell me nice in my ear? Like, no, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving you a warning. I'm not really caring about who's in the house, what's going on. There's fire. I'm warning you of that fire that's coming. Not so much what you're doing. Yo, you could be in bed, butt ass naked. There's fire coming. You could be in bed, knocked out, 12 hours straight. There's fire coming. You could have you and your woman laying in bed. You about to get it in. There's fire coming, right? Yo, you in the shower, taking a shower. You all wet, butt ass naked in the shower. There's fire coming. So our job is to just give that fire warning. Yo, the warning. Now, just another example, the fire trucks, right? When they put the fire hydrant, the fire siren on, yo, that shit is loud as shit, man. You could hear that shit from blocks away, right? And it's the same spirit that we have. And I believe the elder Apostle Hart used that example of us being spiritual firemen, right? So we are here to put out the fire, but also that sound of that trumpet from that siren is also alarming enough for you to turn around and be like, oh, where's that coming from? You know, when you're in traffic and you hear the sirens, you're gonna start moving out the way. You see, that's what happens when you carry a message of an emergency, a message with that kind of dire consequences. And ultimately, we're telling you that this place is going to be destroyed by fire. So that's the fire that's coming. You don't want to be telling people, oh, you know, that you just follow the laws, man, follow the commandments. Give them the warning of what's coming. They're not going to follow the commandments anyway. That's not what's going to save them. I don't care how perfect you think you are. You're not going to be saved via a list of following the commandments, even to a T. Because then that negates the deliverer. You don't need Yahweh Shai then. That's what you're saying. But here we're giving a warning and saying the fire is coming. And the deliverer, Yahweh Shai, is the only way out of this fire that's coming. So get your shit and let's go meet him over there when he gets here. You see, leave everything behind. Just put your shoes on, put your clothes on so you don't get too cold, and let's go. You see? But these camps, nah, it's something completely different. And again, it goes to show you the difference between the true men of the Lord and the false prophets, man. They're not giving you warning. Whether they're blind to it or they're pretending not to see it, all right? Regardless, they're still leading you off a cliff. All right? You got it, bros.
I got a precept. Isaiah 58:1. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, this is the GNT. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai says, shout as loud as you can. Tell my people Israel about their sins. Yeah, cry aloud, spare not. Cry aloud, spare not. So this is what the Lord set us up to do. To blow that trumpet. To let you know. So that you can repent. And yes, you know, we do to the best of our ability, keep the commandments. We teach the commandments. Because then they try to turn around and say, see, they're teaching you to sin. No, we're teaching you the true understanding of what it means to serve the Lord. And that you're not going to get to that finish line by just keeping the commandments. You're not going to get there. The commandments is not enough. You have to have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And through that, yeah, you will fulfill those major aspects of the law. But here it is, IUIC, this is the funny thing about those commandment bangers. They're the ones that are breaking them the most. You know? But yeah, if we, you know, to the best of our ability, we keep the commandments. That's between us and the Lord. We don't got to bang it over your head. The Lord sees, you know, that we doing our best, but we're not going to be justified through that anyways. We're justified through the faith. And again, it all goes back to the glorification, like the brother Aharon mentioned, of Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai has to get the glory of the deliverance. So if we over here perfect and we don't need to be saved, Salakia. Yeah, right on cue, like you mentioned. But if we don't need that, if you know, that's why the Lord said that he came, he didn't come for the righteous, he came for sinners, right? So he came for those that, the point of him saying that is he's going to come to those that acknowledge their offense and know that they are wretched men. That's why Apostle Paul said we're wretched men. But you can paint yourself to be some, oh, you're perfect, you keep the commandments. We just learned about this. You know, our people have just now started coming back into the understanding, and now you want to be over righteous about it. The commandments, like we're filthy, you know, and we need mercy. That's the point. You got it, Doc.
Yeah, Khan. No, I got one more point, and then Lord William could wrap it up. But so what you just mentioned there, right? When you go to the Council of Jerusalem, the Apostle Paul, which we know was taught of Yahushua, right? Many mysteries were revealed unto him, and we know the Lord was working with him. So then the question now begs, right? Why would the Apostle Paul, why would they come to a conclusion to say, hey, don't put all these laws on the new followers, but really just the important ones, have them start with that and do that, right? Wouldn't the push have been, hey, you have to keep all these laws, statutes, and commandments, even if you've been missing it, you got to go back and keep every single one of those? So to your point, as to Yahushua saying that, basically, if there was nobody in the Old Testament that was able to actually successfully keep all the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly, all right, and that's why Yahushua came on the scene. Now you could say, hey, I'm going to keep all the law, statutes, and commandments, and you don't need to believe in Yahushua. You can literally just keep all those law, statutes, and commandments, but that's not salvation. Salvation is not coming from that. Salvation is going to be a point in time when Yahushua comes on the scene, and you get it or you don't. That's the salvation that we talk about. That salvation comes from believing in Yahushua, not from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly. Because when Yahushua comes on the scene, he'll say, well, you don't need me. I'm only coming for those whose backup plan it was, since they couldn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly, to go through me. I'm that alternative. You don't qualify for this because you're going the route of the laws, right? So when you really, break it down, going back to the point that you wasn't making, I'm going to bring this up. This is Matthew 11:28. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So it's like, you're even if it's at the DMV, for example, right? Imagine you go to the DMV and they're like, you need 5 documents. You only got 3. And they're like, you know what? There is, there's an alternative, right? For if you only have 3 documents, you can still get what you need to get done. You're just going to have to fill out this extra form and we'll take those 3. That's Yahushua right there. Because none of us could actually provide those 5 documents. But yeah, that's it. You got it.
Hey, I got a quick point. I'm gonna pass it to you, brother. And you know what's crazy about this IUIC group is that it'll be a different story. It wouldn't be that bad if they were actually teaching it accurately. How you gonna tell somebody to follow the laws, but yet you teaching them the wrong shit? How that make sense? You telling them the wrong day to keep the Sabbath, right? You telling them that they can basically live with their women when they're supposed to be during the time of her separation, right? What's the other one? They got so many different things that they be going off on pertaining to the law.
The full moon.
The new moon is the full moon. Yes, keeping the Sabbath wrong, right? Lining up their shit and thinking that that's okay. Meanwhile, there's a law that says you're not supposed to mar your beard or the corners of your head, right? So all these different things that they preach and say keep the law, statutes, commandments, law. Well, you niggas is teaching the wrong shit. So how we like you just double murder right there, bro? Like you're not just murdering yourself, you're murdering the niggas following you. Like that's wicked as hell, man. You know, that's wicked, and it's intentional because it's not like they don't know. They get corrected all the goddamn time. So it's intentional. You're not be teaching the name of the Lord, but yet you teaching about His laws. Like, how does that even make sense? Whose laws are we following? Most High in Christ blessed laws? What are we talking about here, bro? That's why again, the rose up to play Israelites, man. That's them. All right, that's them. So if you follow them, you saw what happened to them dudes, right? Go back and read the time of when we were in the wilderness for 40 years. The reason why the Lord kept us there for 40 years was because of niggas like IUIC. That's why. All right, you got it, bro.
Yeah, that's a double murder suicide, man, right there. That's what they doing. So yeah, a beautiful points, man. Beautifully bringing the point home. You know, they ain't got unless you got any
Yeah,
points.
I just had one precept just to end it.
By all means.
I believe it's 36. Yeah, just to go back on the point of, basically, the end of what's going to happen to those that trust in the system, that trust in Esau, just to bring it, tie it all back in, with the title of the lesson. I believe it's first.
This is Isaiah chapter 36, verse 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him?
Right. So that's the point. So pretty much, going back, tying it in again, basically, I believe the brother said he named the lesson, he's going to turn on you, is that essentially, for our people and, these other nations in general, you trusting in America, trusting in Donald Trump is going to be to your detriment, right? That broken reed. If you ever look at what a broken reed looks like, it's a sharp point. And pretty much if you lean on it, pretty much put your hand on and lean on it, what's eventually going to happen? And it's not just a lean, like just a regular lean. No, I mean like you're putting your whole body and really leaning into it. And all that's going to eventually push that force on it and what's going to pierce through your hand. So he actually wants to, pierce your hand actually. Revelation 13 and 16, right? Not saying that that's tying in, but, But basically, essentially, you trusting in I believe the guy's name was Rapshka that was sent there to speak to Hezekiah and Israel that, hey, you trusting in Egypt is pretty much like putting your hand on a broken reed and putting your pressure on it. It's going to pretty much turn on you. It's going to pretty much prick you. So it's the same thing for trusting in Donald Trump, trusting in America. It's pretty much going to be to your detriment. It's going to end up hurting you. It's not going to be to your aid. So just wanted to bring that out and, let's tie that back in.
Wow. Yeah, so just to close it out, the times we in. Repent until Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, calling the true name of the Lord. Stay diligent, stay sharp. Lord's will, this was edifying lesson, edifying camp. With that, we're gonna close it out and give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Machak. Hey, shalom to the next one.
Shalom to the elect while Yahweh Shemiel Shai Brakathum to you, brothers. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.